Hello, stuff of nonsense lesson. How'd we get to lesson 16 already? Boy, it's going fast. Okay, so today here's what's up. Okay, we're going to talk a little more about the crocodile poem. And I want to talk to you about the creative project. I'd kind of like to read you another poem from Struwwel Pater, but maybe I'll have to resist. This is the last YouTube for this week because I'm going to take Fridays off from my YouTube production so I can think about interesting things for you for next week. I have something interesting for next week. Okay, so the crocodile, let's just review. Okay, he improves his shining tail, right? Because how doth the little crocodile improve his shining tail? Now notice the language and the rhythm of the poem is very similar to the busy bee. That's essential for parody, right? So that has to sound enough like the first original poem so that kids will recognize it. So we see something here that the crocodile is vain because he's trying to improve his tail for no good reason, right? Just looking after so he'll look beautiful. And pour the waters of the Nile on every golden scale. So we talked about golden. We've seen that word before, the golden afternoon. And golden also represents perfection, right? If you've read Harry Potter, you know the search for the philosopher's stone, and that's to turn base material into gold. How cheerfully he seems to grin. So we talked about the smile. So he's happy, smiling, right? Grin, however, is a little bit different than a regular smile, because there's more mischief in a grin. How neatly spreads his claws. So now we have the predator. Important, ties into Darwin, ties into food chain, ties into, what word do I want? Major theme in the book starts with D. We're all afraid of it. We don't want it to happen. Death, right? Spreads his claws and welcomes little fishes in with gently smiling jaws, right? Okay, so here we have a few things. The crocodile is succeeding by doing nothing, by being lazy, by being vain, right? And that leads back to that question that we saw from the beginning of the book, right? The daisy chain. Is it worth the trouble of getting up and picking the daisies, right? So in that case, making the daisy chain meant putting in effort. But here, the crocodile succeeds by being lazy. And sometimes we think we meet people like this. Like I remember when my sister went to law school at McGill, she did super well, but she appeared never to study. So the other people, I had friends that were at school with her at the same time. They're like, wow, how can she do it? I think she studied secretly at odd hours, but it's like those people who seem to succeed just like that, right? And my experience in life is generally takes a lot of hard work to succeed. But there's the crocodile, and he seems to disprove that theory, right? But he's very much in opposition to the busy bee. And most of us, I think, you might be a little more, like I think I'm more busy bee than crocodile, but we all have the two sides, right? And sometimes if you're too busy bee, you need to be crocodile. That's why I'm not making any YouTubes for you tomorrow. And if you're too crocodile, well, you could learn a little from Polak the busy bee. Get some work done, guys. Okay, so on the creative project, I'm seeing how our time is, 3 minutes, 18 seconds. So it's good for me to talk to you about the creative project. Let it start cooking in your brain. That's exactly like you have to cook food. It's the same thing. A little oil in the pan. Start the onions, sauteing them before you make the rest of your sauce. Okay, so one thing you could think about is things that make you hostile, right? So if you're hostile to being stuck at home, I don't know, with old people perhaps, maybe you're hostile towards old people, that you're like, giving up your lives to protect us. Maybe, I don't know, you're hostile towards school or our score, that you're getting 1,000,000 Mayos every day, right? So you could take something, maybe you want to have your revenge on the pandemic or your new study guide for Marinopolis, right? So you could take something that bothers you and make it funny. Something else, reversal. I think I gave you the example of the uglification parlor. Maybe I didn't. But a student who, maybe I gave it to you, a student who instead of having a beauty parlor made an ad for an uglification parlor. I think I told it to you already. Okay, so take a reversal of things. If you have a dog, you walk your dog, right? What if your dog walked you? What would that be like if we lived in a universe where humans were pets to dogs, right? Anyway, once I give you these crazy ideas, you can't do them. Think of your own crazy idea. Okay, we're at 4 minutes, 44 seconds. I'm going to sign off because I've been going closer to 6 minutes. I think they told us the ideal time for YouTube is about 5, max 6. So I don't want to overstay my welcome. So take care of yourselves. Think about the creative projects. get going on my study questions. I looked in at the forums today. There was not a lot of work for me. I'll check again tomorrow before lunchtime. Okay, bye for now. Take care. I'll see you next week on Monday. Bye.